Welcome to the lovely city of Wichita Falls. Welcome to the Saloon of Wichita Falls. Big blind is $4.
I raise. Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
I fold. I fold.
Player checks.
Check.
The gentleman wins $117.
I fold. I fold.
Raise. Fold.
Fold.
I raise.
Fold.
I gotcha.
Raise. I fold.
I fold. I fold.
I fold.
I fold.
I fold. I check. I fold.
The gentleman wins $183. The big blind is raised to $8.
Fold.
The gentleman calls.
Fold.
Fold.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. The flop.
Raise.
Fold. I'm the winner.
Fold.
I fold. Fold. I fold.
Player checks.
Check.
I check. I
I
raise.
fold.
Give me the chips.
Player has left the table.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. The lady calls.
Fold.
Fold.
The lady calls. Flop.
Check.
Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $40.
Fold.
Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
Raise.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
I fold.
River.
I raise.
The big blind is raised to $12.
I fold.
The gentleman calls.
Fold. Fold.
These are real skills.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
Wow, I'm shaking.
Check.
Raise.
I fold. Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $84.
I fold.
Those chips are mine.
Look out for me.
The big blind is raised to $16.
I raise.
Sorry, I won.
I fold.
Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. The lady calls. The gentleman calls.
I raise.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $430.
Fold.
The miss calls.
Now these are real skills.
Player has left the table. A new player has joined the table.
Fold.
I fold.
I
fold.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. I fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $307. The big blind is raised to $20.
I raise.
The miss calls.
I got it.
Player has left the table.
I fold. Wow, I'm shaking. Fold, I fold.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check.
I check.
I
Check.
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 That's it. Them chips is mine.
The gentleman calls.
I fold. I raise.
Fold. I fold.
All in $57.
I fold.
River.
Fold.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls.
Raise.
I win. The big blind is raised to $30.
I fold.
I fold.
The flop.
I check.
Player checks. Turn. Wow. I'm shaking.
Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $360. The gentleman calls.
Fold, I fold.
Raise.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $503. A new player has joined the table.
Fold. Fold. I fold.
Raise.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. All in with $124.
Look out for me.
Fold.
I'm raising.
Fold, I fold.
The gentleman calls.
Fold.
Check.
Raise.
I fold.
Turn.
These are real skills.
The big blind is raised to $50. The gentleman calls.
I fold.
I raise. I must fold.
Raised.
The gentleman calls.
Check. I check.
I raise.
The gentleman wins. One. This player is out of money. Has left the table. Welcome to the Saloon of Wichita Falls. Big blind is $4.
I raise.
The miss calls. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
That's a lot to buy for.
Fold.
The flop.
Check.
Check.
Raise.
Fold.
Turn.
Check. I check.
The gentleman
The
calls.
river. Check. Raise. I'm the winner.
Fold.
I raise.
The gentleman calls.
I'm the winner.
The lady calls. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
Raise.
I fold.
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 The gentleman calls.
I raise. That's it. Those chips are mine.
The big blind is raised to $8.
I fold.
Fold.
That's a lot to buy.
I fold.
Fold.
I raise.
All in with $104. The gentleman wins $145.
I fold.
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 Raise.
The gentleman calls.
I check.
Fold.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $201.
Fold.
I fold.
Fold.
Raise.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
I check.
Raise.
Fold.
I fold.
Sorry, I won.
fold.
Fold. Raise.
Fold.
The gentleman calls.
Fold.
Flop. Player checks.
Check.
I check.
Check. Raise.
Fold.
I fold.
All in with $181. The gentleman calls.
That's it. Those chips are mine.
Welcome to the Saloon of Wichita Falls. Big blind is $4.
Fold.
Fold.
Raise.
I win.
I fold.
I fold.
That's a lot to get.
I check.
I check.
Check.
I check.
Check.
I check.
River.
Check.
Check.
Player checks.
Those chips are mine.
The gentleman wins $20.
I fold.
Raise.
I fold.
I fold.
I fold.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $226. The big blind is raised to $8.
I fold. Those chips are mine.
I knew I was good.
The miss calls.
I fold.
Raise.
I fold. Check.
Raise.
Fold.
The gentleman calls. All in with $111. The miss wins 200. Player has left the table.
Fold.
I fold.
Raise.
That's a lot to bet.
Split pot. The big blind is raised to $12.
I fold. Look out for me.
Fold.
I fold.
I fold.
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 I raise.
The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check. I raise.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman wins $457. A new player has joined the table.
I raise.
Fold.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
The flop.
Check.
I'll check.
I check.
Fold.
I fold. Check.
The gentleman calls.
River.
with $108. Split pot. Player has left the table.
I fold.
The miss calls.
I
Oh,
fold.
fold.
Oh, wow. I'm shaking.
Check.
Raise.
These are real skills.
The big blind is raised to $16. The lady calls.
I fold.
Flop.
I raise.
Fold.
The gentleman calls. Turn.
I check.
Check.
Player checks.
I
I
raise.
fold.
I'm the winner.
Fold.
I fold.
The lady calls. The gentleman calls.
I check.
I
I
check.
raise.
Fold.
I'm doing pretty well.
Boy, I'm shaking.
That's a lot to bet. Fold.
The lady calls. The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Raise. I fold.
I fold.
I fold.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $260. A new player has joined the table.
Raise.
Ford.
Oh, that's a lot to bet.
Fold.
I got you.
The big blind is raised to $20.
I
Fold.
Fold.
I fold.
I'm the winner.
I fold.
I'm the winner.
The gentleman wins $901. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Raise.
Fold.
Fold. I must fold.
Check.
Player checks.
Raise. That's it. Those chips are mine.
A new player has joined the table. The big blind is raised to $30.
I fold.
I fold.
Ford.
The gentleman calls. Flop.
I fold.
I
Fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
Fold.
I fold. Fold.
Fold.
The madam calls.
I fold.
These are real skills here.
Fold.
The lady calls. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check.
Check.
raise.
I fold.
I fold.
I check. I fold.
The river. The madam calls. The gentleman calls. The madam calls. The gentleman calls. The miss calls.
Come on, you give me the chips.
The big blind is raised to $50.
Wow, I'm shaking.
The winner takes one. This player is out of money. Player has left the table.
I'm raising.
I fold.
I fold.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
Turn.
I raise.
The gentleman calls.
I raise.
The gentleman wins $730. The gentleman calls.
I fold.
Oh, that's a
Fold.
lot bet.
I raise.
Hey, I'm doing pretty well.
I fold.
Fold. I fold.
Fold.
Oh,
I fold.
The gentleman wins $75. The big blind is raised to The gentleman wins. Player has left the table.
Fold. Fold.
Fold. I fold.
Check, I check.
Check, I
Check.
check. I fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $450.
I fold.
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 Split pot.
I must fold.
The gentleman calls. All in $208.
Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I check.
Turn.
Raise. Sorry, I won.
The big blind is raised to $150.
I fold.
The winner takes $1,420. The gentleman wins $1,939.
Sorry, I won.
Oh, I am shaking.
Fold.
The madam calls.
Raise.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $4,103. The big blind is raised to $200.
I fold.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Fold. I fold. I fold.
Turn. Raise. The gentleman wins $2,404. The madam calls. The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls.
Check.
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 Check. Check.
Check. Fold.
I
I fold.
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 All in with $712. Turn. The gentleman wins $2,424.
I fold.
Ooh, that is a lot to bet.
Fold.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. Turn. Player checks. The river.
Check. I fold.
The gentleman wins $4,511. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
The madam calls. The gentleman calls.
Check. Fold. I raise.
The big blind is raised to $400.
Fold. I fold.
I fold. Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $1,200.
Fold. Fold.
The gentleman calls. Flop.
I raise. Fold.
The gentleman calls. Turn.
Fold. I fold.
Fold.
Man, I'm good.
The gentleman calls.
Check. Check.
I check. I check.
I
I
check.
check.
Player checks.
Check. I check.
All in with $2,321. The gentleman wins $676. This player is out of money. Has left the table. The big blind is raised to $600. The gentleman calls.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $1,800.
Check. Oh, that's a lot to bet.
Raise.
These are real skills.
The gentleman calls.
Raise. I raise.
Turn. Player checks. The gentleman calls. The gentleman wins $7,968.
Look out for me!
The big blind is raised to $800. Flop.
Raise. I win!
All in with 1,450. The flop. Total pot is 12,213. The gentleman wins $906.
Fold. Sorry, I won.
The big blind is raised to $1,200. The gentleman wins $1,800. The gentleman calls.
Check. I check. Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I raise. Sorry, I won. Hey, I'm doing pretty well.
The big blind is raised to $1,600.
Raise.
All in 3,000. Flop. Turn.
I gotcha.
Big blind is $12.
I fold.
Raise.
Oh, that's a right
Fold.
bet.
I fold.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $187.
I fold.
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 Flop.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $42. The gentleman calls.
I fold.
Player checks. Turn.
Check.
Man, I'm good.
I fold.
Look out for me.
Raise.
I fold.
I fold. Check.
Turn.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. River. All in with $240.
I'm the winner.
The miss wins $284. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
The flop.
Fold.
I fold.
I must fold.
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 Wow, I'm shaking.
The gentleman calls.
I check.
The gentleman calls. Player checks. All in $345. The gentleman wins $568. The gentleman calls.
Fold.
Oh, that's a lot to bet.
The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check.
Fold.
I fold.
Turn. The river.
Give me the chips. Come on.